Hey guys, Ronan here. Today I'm sharing my thoughts on The Last of Us. I recently picked up the game, and I know the game has been released for quite a while now, but it was an exclusive to PlayStation, and I am mostly a PC gamer. So I recently bought a PS4, and now I'm able to play it. Really wanted to play this game since the reviews were really great on it, at least from what I can remember when the game came out. I'm going to do this video differently than others because of spoilers. I want to eliminate as many spoilers as possible. I will minimize the cutting to cutscenes and cinematics and only show the gameplay from the beginning. And once I'm done with the commentary, I will end it there. Just because I really want to avoid spoilers for anybody that has not played the game yet. This story is really what brings this game to life. This game is a story-based game that, and this is where it shines. It's probably the best adventure-type story that I've ever played. Even without any character customization, the characters actually draw you in. At least it did for me. Instead of making an avatar, I wanted to play the game as Joel. I thought he was a really good character. He definitely took the stage in that department. He made it that he was a character I actually wanted to be in a game. I believe the story will be hard to beat by any other game that's going to come out in the near future. Although with this, I am not including the Left Behind DLC because then the review or my thoughts would go a different direction. I did not enjoy the DLC, mainly because it forced you to do things that I actually did not enjoy doing, like a water pistol fight. And I felt really childish, and I know it's with the story, I guess, but this will only concentrate on the main game. This was my very first game that I tried on the PlayStation 4, and visually I was impressed. It looks so good, like not just the graphics, but like the acting. I found that the characters' movements were lifelike. Like this scene in the car near the beginning, which you'll see, like, when they're having conversation, they're actually talking to each other. They have body movement. They look around. Their lips. Everything is just so well done. Also remember the mirrors in the first area you're going to be playing. It's so clear. It's just hard to beat. I think. Like I still remember like Duke Nukem days where everything was pixelated and you looked in the mirror and you just basically were there, but it was nice. You can tell they put the work into making this game lifelike. The dark areas are very well done. The lighting provides depth to the game and environment. Details and the visuals are just amazing. With the combinations of the shadows and the audio coming from the infected while they're chasing you, it just makes the experience and the atmosphere that put a lot of games to shame, in my opinion. The AI gets plus and a minus for me. The co-op AI is a great help, whether you're trying to stealth kill two enemies or whether you're fighting. They either take one on or they'll actually kill the other one for you if you're doing a stealth kill. If you're in melee combat, they'll actually take up one of the ads for you, so it gives you time to deal with yours. They also follow pathing very well. I found that even with obstacles, they'll interact really well with the obstacles. Where I was disappointed for me with the AI was on three different scenarios. At one point, Ellie runs through a set of traps, which were mines. Instead of avoiding them, and when they did get set off, no zombies ever came. I, crawled to avoid the mines, and she just ran right through.
Yeah.
I just think that's a flaw. They should have thought of that when they put those mines in that area. Plus, the noise alone should have alerted the infected, seeing as it was a heavy infested area. Another one is a few times I was throwing a bottle or a brick to get the attention of the enemy to either look another way or just to know that I was in the area, so clickers would move to a different area. I would throw it and nothing would happen. They wouldn't turn, they wouldn't move. Even the clicker wouldn't even go towards the brick or the bottle. And the only guess I have is that maybe I threw it too close, because it's not like I threw it like so far that it would be able to get it. So that was a flaw to me, because especially with the clickers being what they are, I think they should be attracted to noise like every time. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just a bad area that I was at, or just throwing in a bad spot. And third, it's not so much the AI as it's the enemies are sometimes disappear. So I'd have one either chasing me or I'd be stalking one to go kill him, and all of a sudden I turn the corner, he's not there. He's invisible or whatever, he's just not there. So I go back and I use the sonar, you know, Joel's mystical Batman ability that can see through walls through sonar. He would be right there, like the enemy is just around the corner, and I turn around, not there. Couldn't do anything about it. So I found that kind of annoying because it happened on 3 occasions, and every time I went to go record it with PS4, then the enemy would either see me or he'd be there. So I was not able to demonstrate this. The crafting, I mean, the crafting is okay. It's pretty simple. It's not a very hard system. It's easy to learn, so it's nice. What I didn't like was the scavenging. Few times that I would need, let's say, cloth to make a bandage or make a Molotov cocktail, and I'm staring at a suitcase full of clothes, or I'm staring at a pile of laundry, which I could be using that stuff, and I can't use it. The scavenging only works for items that the game figures that you can use, but if you have a giant pile of laundry, why can't you take at least one item? Why couldn't they have placed an item there? And the same goes with, I was staring at a knife block in the kitchen at some nice lady's house, and I needed sharp objects. I was able to use like a box of screws or whatever it was, but I can't use, for a sharp object, I couldn't use an actual knife. Like, wouldn't an actual knife be just as good, if not better, than a shiv? I mean, couldn't you use the knives as weapons? So that kind of ticked me off a bit, and it took away from my experience, because it just didn't make sense to me, trying to be such a realistic game.
I got it.
Another thing that I couldn't understand is that you can't make your own arrows, and you don't have to be very complicated arrows, but you can make yourself a pipe bomb, or you can make yourself a Molotov cocktail, but no, you can't make yourself an arrow, like, and then the arrows break too easily, I found. I would only be able to use an arrow once, maybe twice, before it would actually break. And another one for scavenging is, when you're fighting humans, they tend to shoot you quite a bit. They use a lot of ammo. But, when you go to them, it's almost like every single time they shot their last bullet just before you kill them. Most of the times they don't have any ammunition on them. If ammunition was so scarce, why are they just wasting it on you? To me, that also doesn't make sense. They should be more sparingly with their ammo, or like at least drop a few rounds every time you kill somebody that has a gun. And then the other thing for scavenging, why is it that, and this I don't want to spoil anything, but why is it that you can't take gasoline out of vehicles? I mean, if it works for some other things, why can't you take gasoline? Why are still vehicles on the road? And why can't you take gasoline from some of the vehicles that are in okay shape, I guess? Or, I mean, yeah. So I should stop there. Spoiler, but why can't you take gasoline out of the cars? And there's tons of cars on the road, and the fuel would be just ridiculous. Just use it. It's there. To me, one of the negatives was at times the combat became really frustrating. Controls aren't all that smooth, and as far as aiming, since it's an over-the-shoulder, the angles can get a bit off, where at some spots I was entirely behind a wall, and I was lining up to go for my shot, but I get shot because the cursor is in the middle of the screen, and it's just bad angles, I believe. And same with the combat. Sometimes I would get my attack in, and it wouldn't register, or I get hit first, where I was trying to attack from behind. These, mainly clickers, like, I don't know. I found that the combat was a little lacking. Not enough to take away from the entire game, but I felt it could have been a little bit smoother. I like that the infected, they took the rabies kind of take on it. It's an infection. They're not zombies. They're fast moving. It almost makes me feel like 28 days later. And the longer that they're infected, they get altered, which creates a different variety of infected. which creates the clickers. So I think that was kind of cool, and a new take on the infected genre for games. I don't really know of other games on the consoles that may be like this. And then that the fact that the clickers are actually blind and that they see through sound, I thought that was a good take, because then it gives another mechanic or another way to have to deal with the infected. I thought that was definitely a good point. Some of the biggest drawbacks that I did not quite like in this game, like the stealth approach to me, did not work as well as the fast and aggressive approach. The fast and aggressive method, I found that I did much better of being aggressive. I guess not a big deal, it's just that my first thought, my first time through the game, I took it slow. I really didn't need to, like there was no need for me to actually take it slow. The flashlight didn't seem to bother most of the infected, which was weird to me, because I could flash it right at them, and they wouldn't even notice that I was there. Some of the noises, like people chatting, your AI just having a conversation when you know that there's infected nearby, they should probably just shut their mouth. I mean, I know a few things about stealth, and just these things, you just don't do that. Same with the flashlights. They should have a feature in the game that you can tell the AI to turn off their flashlight. At night, you don't want to have a flashlight, especially if you're trying to be stealthy, because you don't want to get noticed. Like, your eyes will adapt. You'll be able to see. If it's really that dark, and you can't see because there's no ambient light, or there's nothing, you're inside like a building with no windows, yeah, turn it on, have a quick look, turn it off. Once you're done, I mean, there should be an option, or at least the AI should turn theirs off when yours is off. That was one thing that was really getting to me, is like when you're trying to just be stealthy. It's just they didn't take the right approach, I believe, with this, and just don't talk. There's no point in talking, like, especially if you're trying not to get noticed. I know it's a story-based game, but you're at the same time trying not to get noticed. I know that I'm probably being really picky with some of these, but that does not take away from the game too much. Even with these few negative points that I brought out, this game is still a really great game to play. Being a story-heavy game, I don't see the point of playing it in New Game Plus, which I know is available, because like you already know what's going to happen. So before I go on, and just in case there is a spoiler, I'll bleep it out. You already know what happens, so you don't have any choices. There's no game-altering choices that you can make that I can remember in the game. When it comes time to when you encounter a character that you know is kind of sketchy, there's nothing you can do about it. So even in New Game Plus, why would you not have a choice if you can offer that feature? Why would you go through the whole story again knowing what's going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it? That kind of gets me, and to me that removes the replayability. Maybe if they given you a few choices here and there to change how to replay the game, but just keeping some of your equipment, your perks, it's not a good enough reason for me. I thank all of you for watching. Keep on the lookout for more of my videos, as I will be posting one review per week and one how-to or tips video on a game that I'm currently playing. I'm anxiously waiting for Heavensward to come out. I'm using this time to improve my videos and content. One video that I just uploaded was Killing Floor 2. You guys should check it out since it's in early access and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's going to be a great co-op game. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.